You are now listening to Between Us Girls, the podcast, where we discuss life's fuckeries and then some over wine.
Hey, welcome to our show. This is Michelle.
Danielle.
And Sharonda.
And this is
Between Us Girls.
And you can always find us on Spotify, iHeartRadio, our website, www.betweenusgirlspodcast.com/episodes, and Stitcher Radio and Google Play. Apple Podcasts as well.
And if you would like to financially contribute to the inner workings of all that is Between Us Girls, please go to www.patreon.com/Between Us Girls.
Between Us Girls. Yeah, between us.
I'm going to make you stop singing that until you finish that damn song. Just crazy.
All right, whatever. Danielle, do we have a fan of the week?
Yes, Kwame. Oh, I'm fucking up his name.
Wow.
Kwame?
No.
Kwame.
From The Blaze.
Yes. And
The Blaze Entertainment Podcast.
Right, part of the Black Pod family. Danielle's baby on Twitter. Black Pod family, Danielle's baby.
Well, he's actually Team Michelle.
He is.
Oh, wow.
So he's actually very supportive of the show in general.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, him and he has a show. Actually he has another show. I think it's called I'd Rather Not. I feel like I'm getting this all wrong. But you can just go and check out The Blaze. But it's really funny. Like, I really like him a lot, him and Miss Free. But it's like when you know he about to go off when he's like, first of all.
Okay.
I mean, his show is very entertaining. I like it a lot. And then, I mean, he's also like shouted us out like multiple times on his show, which is like really cool.
Right.
You know,
his show actually reminds me of The Read a lot. So I feel like
yeah,
if
it
you
is
like
it
that
is kinda
show,
like The Read.
you need to definitely check out The Blaze.
Yeah.
The Blaze.
The Blaze. Okay, so Sharonda, what are we sipping on?
We are sipping on a Michelle special
Okay.
today. This bitch took it back to Kendall Jackson days.
Hey, I don't know if you guys ride down 45 to downtown, but they were voted America's #1 winery in 2017. Stop hating.
Okay, so anyway, like I said, the bitch took it back to Kendall Jackson. This is actually a Vintner's Reserve, and it's called a Summation, and it's a red wine blend. Excuse me. And the fucking alcohol content. Oh, it's so small, but it's 13.5%.
We better turn up.
And the vintage is 2012, so we'll let you know how we feel about this at the end of the show.
Yes, and please write down in your notebooks that we are drinking this wine out of red Solo cups on today.
Oh yeah. This is gonna go on Instagram.
Yes. Put the cup right next to the Kendall. Right here, be
next to
like
it.
all kinds of hood life. Kendall Jackson and a plastic red Solo cup.
For old time's sake. Just saying.
I almost started singing. Rock me tonight.
Lord.
Anywho, okay, so tonight we're going to be talking about how to be black. Are you too white to be black?
Are you talking to Danielle?
I was talking to myself,
Oh.
you know, because I feel like I don't sound quote unquote black,
African American?
but I think I'm just as black as the next person. I mean, I definitely get treated like it. So, okay. So for instance, Ben Carson, Omarosa, somebody like Stacey Dash. Are these people, are they black? Like, that is the question that we're going to answer tonight. Danielle?
Yes, they are black.
They're
By
black?
definition. I'm
right,
I'm
they are
agreeing.
black.
By definition, they are color.
Right. So why do you think people are like, oh, such and such is not black when they're clearly black? Like, how do we get there?
I don't think it's literal that they mean, because I mean, you can look at them, their skin color is black.
And I'm black and they black and I'm black, son.
And I'm black, y'all. And I'm black, y'all. And I'm black, yeah.
But also, I'm a Republican, and I said I'm going to vote for Donald Trump.
I feel like people are saying they can't, that they're not defining them as black because it's like, oh, you're not down, like,
Yeah.
with us, and you're not down with, you know, because most black people don't support Donald Trump. I mean, you know, at least the 5 or 6 that I know, they don't like him too much. So I don't know. I just feel like that's what it's meant. I don't feel like it's a literal definition that, oh, they are physically not black. No, they just not down.
Well, I grew up in a predominantly white school, and I lived in the white area because there was a place where black folks lived and congregated. But it was probably about 15 miles from where I lived. And as a young person, of course, you can't get there. You know, like there's no way for you to be like, let me just come and be one with you.
Right.
So I was called white girl all the time, but I'm like, I'm only with my friends. Like, these are people I know. These people live in my neighborhood. This is who I hang out with.
Right.
So I feel like from the time we're children, we start that. Oh, well, you act like a white girl. Or, you know.
But what do they mean by that?
You speak proper.
Yeah.
Proper. I wore a ponytail. I didn't.
Black kids don't wear ponytails.
No, like I wore a ponytail like the white girls. They had a ribbon around it. I went right to the fabric store and bought ribbon so I could tie it around my ponytail.
Hey, I'm saying.
I played soccer. You know, I wasn't like. I also didn't hang out with them at lunch. And I remember there was a black teacher, and he called it the BPT, the Black People Table, and he was like, "I don't want to see you over there." And I was like, "Oh, okay."
Because he knew it was some ratchet shit going down. It was some ratchet
shit, and they wasn't about nothing. But
that's so terrible to say
to a child.
But that's what he said, and he told me that, and I was like, "Oh, okay." And I could say maybe a handful of them are like flourishing in life. A lot of them aren't, though.
I don't even know how to feel about that statement, because I mean, for a teacher to say that about some black kids sitting at a table that, you know, basically because they're black, they're not going to go anywhere in life. I don't want you to sit over there with them.
I don't think it had anything to do with their blackness. I don't think that it was about them being black.
It was probably about to do with they ain't shitness. With
the behavior and just how they were carrying themselves at school. Mm-hmm. It was kind of like every stereotype that white folks could pin on you was over there.
Yeah.
But are those stereotypes necessarily negative? Like, I mean, is it really a bad thing? Is what I'm getting at.
I think she means academically, like maybe they didn't read well, they didn't talk, they stayed in trouble. Like,
right. I mean, that's the kind of stuff that, but then it's like, okay, so was that happening because of who they were, or
maybe they were getting in trouble?
Yeah. I mean, my school, now that I know I'm an adult, Tomball is a racist town. So anybody who came out of that area had strikes against them already. And it was just kind of like, I mean, that resonated with me because I was like, okay. I mean, I already was only going to hang out with who I knew. I wasn't going to gravitate towards them just because we were all black. And I guess that's what they wanted from me. They were like, well, why don't you come over here with us? And I'm like,
that's very interesting, because I went to a predominantly white elementary school, and I gravitated towards the black kids. There were only maybe 10 in the entire school, I would say, like literally a handful, and the school went from kindergarten to 8th grade.
Oh wow.
So I mean, you have a really big population of kids, and the minorities were very, like, I want to say that there was one Asian guy. But then also in Shreveport, there was really, at that time, there was really no Asian or Hispanic. I think I said this before. Like, I didn't even see a Hispanic person until I moved to Houston.
Wow.
So
really? You know, it's crazy because when I went to the bank today, every single person in the bank besides me was Hispanic, including the people who work there.
So yeah, at the time, like, Shreveport was very much black and white, and it was very segregated. The school that I went to, it was probably an hour outside of where I lived. And it was a magnet school. So, I mean, I had to apply to get in and everything. Like, it was one of those, it was like a deal, you know. So there were not very many kids that looked like me that would actually even try to go to that school. I only found out about the school because of a friend that moved into our neighborhood, and she was like, "Oh, our school is so fun. We have like a real gymnasium," and I was like, "Word!" Like, you know, like I want to go there. Like, I mean, like we had real, like a pole vault and all of that stuff.
Yeah.
You know, so it's like, oh, I want to go there and play with you or whatever. And it was harder academically than the school that I was going to, because when I left, I was probably about 2 grades advanced when I went to the middle school in our neighborhood.
Damn.
Like, it's like the stuff that they were doing, it was probably like when I got to 6th grade is when I went to the middle school in our neighborhood, and we were probably doing that math in 4th grade.
Oh my
Like,
God.
seriously, like it was so easy. I was so bored, and that's why I ended up getting in trouble when I moved, because I was extremely bored. But anyway, I've digressed or whatever. But my point was, considering that the population of white people was just so big, I gravitated towards the black people.
Like
Yeah. I think the difference between my situation and yours in that case is because those are the people that I was in school with from the time I was in 1st grade. So I went to 1st grade all the way through 12th grade with the same people. So I never lived anywhere else in that area. I only lived in the same house with the same white neighbors and the same white friends that played on the soccer team with me and all of that other stuff. So it was hard for me to understand when I got to 9th grade why they were saying, "Oh, well, why don't you come over here with us? Oh, you trying to be like them?" And I'm like, I'm trying to be like who I know, you know, because I don't know you, and y'all know I have anxiety. So I was like, this doesn't sit well with me. So I guess my question is like, okay, for somebody like me, I only knew that, but like, look at Stacey Dash. She's like, how do I put it? She's the epitome of what somebody might say cooning or Uncle Tommy, right?
Real.
And it's like, how do you get there? Like, sometimes I wonder how she arrived at where she is. Like, you can have money and still have a brain and understanding. You know what I'm saying? Because I feel like sometimes that I'm waiting for her to be like, just fucking kidding.
So here's my opinion about that. Okay, so like, I don't agree with anything that she says politically, other than the fact that she's a capitalist, which I'm all for capitalism,
Right.
but it's so interesting, like this idea that when you're black, that you have to be you can't be an individual black person.
Right.
You have to be along
part
with
of the community.
Along with the consensus. Like, you have to behave a certain way, and if you behave outside of these lines that we built,
then you can't be black.
Then you're not black. Then you're selling out. And it's like, okay, she's still black,
right?
She has her own individual ideas and her own way of thinking and how the world should be. And is she not entitled to that?
Right.
You know, and because she's black, that does not mean that she automatically has to be a Democrat, and she automatically has to be for social services and providing for your community and this or whatever, blah blah blah. You know, that does not mean that. And it's very interesting to me, though, that we're not the only community that does that. How if you are a Jewish person and you don't, you know,
save all your money,
you're not extremely, like, you're cheap,
So
right?
wrong.
You know, but I mean, that's what their stereotype is, that they're very cheap and they own you. They put all their money in the stuff, and they all have to come together and do this. Like, they have that stereotype, and if you go outside of that, then you're affecting us as a community,
as a whole, right?
Right. You know, and so it's not like it's solely black people that do this.
Yeah. I mean, like, for instance, Stevante, the brother of what was the little boy's last name? Stephon Clark. Okay.
Mhm.
He's so extra. People are legitimately embarrassed of him. And I'm like, you don't even know him. Like, how could you be embarrassed with somebody you don't know, you're not connected to at all? And they're like, oh, he's so extra. Oh, he's acting
Because
like this.
he's supposed to be one of us, and you're not supposed to act like that when you're one of us.
But I just feel like every black person is not a black representative. And when things happen, like when those little girls got beat up at the pool in Fort Worth or wherever that was, I was like, hey, I'm not owning that. And every time I say something like that, there's people who are like, well, you aren't in touch with your blackness. But like, I have to be, because I feel the same racism that other people feel. But my issue is, just because somebody does something that might embarrass you does not mean I have to own that embarrassment just because we're all black. I think that's the problem. It's like you said, people want us to be like, we are one in our blackness. And I just can't accept that.
You know, and I kind of get where it comes from, but like, I mean, like with Tiffany Haddish.
Yeah.
You know, she fits all the negative stereotypes. Like, you like her in, like, it's good in her comedy stand-up.
Mm-hmm.
And it's good for her characters in her movies because she's entertaining, right? But when you step outside of me entertaining and she's at an award show and she's hopping over a banner or whatever the thing is called to get to Meryl,
The robe.
Yeah, the robe. To get to Meryl Streep.
Yeah, but she's like, living in her truth.
And
that's what's so confusing about it, because it's like, okay, so you can only be so white and so black. You've got to find a happy medium so you can walk in the middle of the road. And it is like code switching, but it's like at the same time, okay, so it's okay for me to act like a nigga over here, but then when I get right here, I need to be cool and chill, but I can't be too chill, because if I do, then I'm not black.
Mm-hmm.
I feel like society also puts that label on people, and I don't think it's necessarily done on purpose. I just feel like maybe it's, you know, contingent upon what you've encountered, because I have had people that I've met or that I've dealt with in my the previous industry I worked in, and when it was time for me to go meet the customers or talk to them, mind you, it's people I've been dealing with for I don't know how long, sending emails, communication, whatever. I had at one point a customer actually come in to visit me, and I had never met him face to face before, but we did business like, you know, for like years, and he could not hide the shock on his face because I'm brown.
Right.
Like, it was so, and I was so embarrassed. I didn't know what to do, and I felt like the other people that were in the room, they were not of any color at all. They were all pale. They were like,
seen you before?
They were my coworkers and stuff. But I mean, no, he came. The customer came to our place of business. Let me clarify that. So obviously, everybody I'm in the conference room with they know me. But the one customer and his, you know, little junior person or whatever just were in awe, and I'm like, but my name was Sharonda. First of all, like, right. You should have kind of known, you know, that maybe something, but. That's not my point. My point is, like, the way that he was just shocked, I guess, at how I looked. It just really kind of like, I didn't know how to feel. Like, I wanted to cry, but then I wanted to be like, the fuck you looking at? Like, you know what I mean? Yeah. I didn't know really how to feel or what to do, because it was just such a weird situation. And then, I mean, he used to laugh and joke with me over the phone, via email, all of that stuff. But it's like, in that meeting was for me and him to hash out some rates and some other stuff. And he would not even look at me.
Wow.
He only dealt with my boss. It was me, my boss, and like the VP of our company, and he would only talk to my boss. He wouldn't even look my direction. And everybody's in there talking like, okay, well, Sharonda came up with this, and you and Sharonda needs to do blah blah blah. And he just wouldn't look at me. He would just look at the other lady and was like, okay, well, so this is what I'm gonna do, and blah blah blah. And I was just like, wow, what the fuck is
it? Showed you the major
what's
change
happening. Like, I don't understand. You know what I mean? And to me, I feel like that's the same kind of category maybe you were in. Maybe if somebody sees you and they're like, oh, she's black, she's cool, but then when you start talking, because you may speak properly, then they're like, she not real, or, you know, whatever.
Right.
So
and I still get made fun of by adult women and men today. They're like, that's how they mock me. Yeah.
That's what
I mean, y'all do it too sometimes.
I only do it when you say like a word that's like extreme. You say it extremely proper or something like like that.
But I can't. And you know what's so funny is that's how my mom sounds. But my mom went to a segregated high school. Like my mom didn't even go to school with white people until she was in college.
Yeah.
And that's how my mom sounds. So it's like, I mean, I can only sound like the person that raised me. If my mom sounded more, ethnic, that's how I would sound. But I don't, because that's not
but
who
you
taught me to speak.
Yeah, but you don't have to make explanations for that. And I feel like that's dumb. Like, nobody should be making fun of you for the way that you talk. Like, that's...
Did I tell you all about the time that Terrence said to a white woman who, she was more ethnic than us, I guess. But he was talking to her and she said, "Oh, you sound like a white boy." And he was like maybe 3. And he was like, "Well, you stink."
Oh my God.
But it's like, even from, like,
what
he's
does
a
that
little
even
kid.
mean? Yeah, that's fucking crazy.
So as far as code switching goes, like, okay, so Tiffany Haddish has been in the news. People were talking about her or whatever. She jumped over that rope and she wanted to go say what's up to Meryl Streep or whatever. Well, Cardi B is another person who people are like, oh, well, she never turns it off. But like, why should you turn it off? You know what I mean? Like, why should you have to be like, oh, yes. Like when she said that one time, my name is Cardi B and I'm from the Bronx. Like that is how she code switched.
Are we claiming Cardi B though?
I think she's brown.
I mean, are we?
Give me a Google second. I'll be right back. I'll be right back with you.
Because I don't think that she's. Well, I think she's.
I know she's Dominican or something.
But and they're like of African descent.
She's Afro-Latina, right?
I don't know if she's Afro-Latina.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, because that's why she got into it with Amara La Negra, because she's lighter than her. So y'all not claiming Cardi because she has a thick accent?
I have no idea.
Done yet. Hold on.
I'm asking a question. Are we actually claiming her?
She might be black though, with a name like Bel Callis.
Belcalis.
Yeah, that.
I mean, I'm claiming Cardi B because I feel like people have all week since she dropped that album have been like, oh,
I don't
when
even
is
like
she
it.
gonna turn it off her whatever. But I think that's just her.
I think.
Okay, her father is Dominican and her mother is Trinidadian.
So what?
Trinidad, you don't think? I mean, Dominicans are black people. And Trinidadian? Like, come on, man. Yeah.
Okay. I think that Cardi sort of represents everything that's negative about black women. Loud, just ghetto or whatever. And it's like, it's okay when...
And Tiffany Haddish is the same.
Yeah, Tiffany Haddish is the same, yeah. So both of them have those same characteristics or whatever, right?
Mm-hmm.
And it's like, it's okay when you're doing it for this amount of time or you're doing it over here, and as long as it suits me. Like, so it really has nothing to do with them. They're being their true authentic selves. At least I think that they're being authentic.
I agree with you 100%.
But people want you to fit in this box to be acceptable to them. It has nothing to do with Cardi or Tiffany. It has everything to do with those individuals that have an issue with them. I don't have an issue with either one of them, other than the fact that I don't like Tiffany Haddish in stand-up. And like, I like her in movies and TV shows. Like, I thought that show Last OG, I thought she did good in that show, and I liked her in Girls Trip and a couple other things that I've seen her on. But I do not like her in stand-up. Okay. And Cardi, whatever to me. Like,
whatever.
Like, she's just there. I'm not a fan of the CD that she just released. Like, to me, it's like, okay. I mean, that knick-knack paddywhack line just threw me, and I was just like, I can't even.
When did she say that?
In one
of those songs.
And I was like, fuck, we're going to Dr. Seuss on this.
I was like, she really just said knick-knack paddywhack. I was like, oh, okay.
Have y'all heard the rest of the rap that is out right now?
No, girl. Yes, I work. Oh my god, yes.
So mumble rap. I like Cardi. And I'm gonna cape for Cardi.
No, you don't have to, because I do like her. I do not subscribe.
Knick-knack paddywhack, bitch.
Okay, give it dog a bone. Anyway, I don't subscribe to her music and shit, but I like her as a person.
Yeah.
Because she is always the fucking same. Like, you're going to
Yeah.
always win me
I like
over
that.
when you're a real person. When you are consistent across the board, you're always the same way.
Mm-hmm.
You're going to catch me every time. I'm going to be cheerleading, caping for your ass. So she's always kept it real on her little show.
Mm-hmm.
I like to see the come up because she's like, yes, bitches, and what? I was a stripper. Now look at me.
Like, she
I'm
owns
here
it.
for it. Yes.
She completely owns
She
who
also
she
worked
is.
at the
And
supermarket.
I'm here for it. I am so here for that.
Yeah.
And I will never hate on anybody that finds a way to make some money out here. So, bitch, do your thing. Am I a fan of her music? I'm going to go with no.
I'm not a fan of her
I
music.
feel like her raps are really basic, but I feel like since that's a part of her, I'm not gonna say I dislike it because I like her for her authenticity, and like you said, she's consistent across the board.
Mhm.
But I will say I think people like her and people like Tiffany Haddish who do not turn off their personality
Because they're real.
I feel like they scare people who are fraud,
Yes. Agreed.
and I feel like
Agreed.
it's like, well, so you're just gonna be yourself up here,
Just the whole night?
right? Like it
Even when she was
scares
on
them.
Saturday Night Live and she was like rapping but talking at the same time and had her hand
Right.
on the microphone next to her. Like, it was so fun. I was like, this bitch is so ghetto. I love it.
She is.
She is so ratchet.
And she's been everywhere showing off her baby belly
Yes.
in
but
her
she
Fashion
just-
Nova clothes.
Yes, in her Fashion Nova.
Shopping straight off of Fashion Nova.
But then got on $1,000 shoes. Which
Right.
that's what I'm saying. I respect the ratchet and all of that. I'm here for it. And I'm not even gonna hate on her music. I just come from a different genre of music where shit was, way better than that. People had actual bars.
Who's your favorite female rapper?
Oh,
You know what? She actually reminds
I don't
me
know.
of Trina in a bit.
But see, even
lyrically, she reminds me of Trina.
for real,
She does.
I
She
feel
does.
like Trina had better bars than that.
Yeah, I feel like Trina.
We're gonna need to
Trina
go-
was like too much booty in the butt, but that's what she said.
Right.
So was it better bars, or did she just have a better rhyme?
She really does remind me of Trina. I don't know why.
I think her flow is better.
Who? Trina?
Yeah.
Trina's flow is better. Yeah.
I think Cardi actually has
Maybe
some
that's-
good
okay,
lyrics.
I see.
I think she has some good lyrics,
And she
but I think
says
her
some
flow,
real shit. You know what? Fucking Cardi B is the Mary J. Blige of fucking rap right now.
right,
Because everybody knows, and I don't give a damn who don't like it. Mary J. Blige cannot sing.
right, but
Pause.
she got
But
some killer.
But
look
that
at
bitch
this.
Pause.
got some
She said,
lyrics.
pause
Pause.
And that bitch will sing
in this dancery
from the bottom of her feet with the pain, bitch, and you're gonna feel it. You be like, bitch, yes.
I don't.
Yes, Mary.
I don't like that.
And I love Mary J. Blige.
I think
I
Mary.
love
I think
Mary.
Mary has an alright voice. I think she sings better than like Aaliyah or Sierra, but I think sometimes she does sound not good. And
I think she
will
doesn't
say,
sound good live.
That's when it counts.
That's what the
the
fuck
fuck?
is count.
No, when I'm playing her in my car, that's all I need right there. Because I'm not going to see her live.
So she sounds
Okay,
good
well,
whenever
that's the
somebody
thing.
is working on that track.
That's what messed it up for me. I used to be like you, but then I went to one of her concerts and
Oh,
I
I
was
never.
like, "What the entire fuck did I just listen to?" Because I was a teenager when she came, and I went to the concert with my older cousins, and I was like, "Bitch, did y'all lie to me?" Because that wasn't Mary J. Blige.
No,
this
I-
So,
dancery.
bitch, on layers and layers and layers of tracks, my tone deaf ass can sound like Beyonce better
Bitch,
than
go.
Beyonce.
Go.
You don't know. I'm saying in the studio. We laying tracks. I don't have natural melodic voice like Michelle. I know my craft.
Womp womp.
I'm going
She
to
just
the
told me to shut the fuck up at the beginning of the show, but okay.
Where did I
I
say-
digress.
I never said shut the fuck up. I said I'm gonna make you shut up if you don't finish that song.
But do you think women like Tiffany Haddish and Cardi B are an actual threat, or I feel like people who are like, oh, I hate that shit. Because there's men like that too. Floyd Mayweather is the same exact way.
He's just
He
ignorant
is
and rich.
always
It is
just
what it is.
I
however
think
the fuck
it-
he's gonna be.
I think black people are incredibly sensitive about our image, and
As a whole.
As a whole,
Okay.
and people like Tiffany and Cardi and Floyd, they poke cracks in that image that we want or
Are trying
strive
to build.
have.
Okay.
You know,
Okay.
so I mean, if you think about it, like we had to fight to even be able to read.
And Floyd still cannot read.
Exactly.
And Fantasia just learned.
So the fact that we,
but
had
it's
to
because
fight,
they were disenfranchised. It's not because they.
I mean, just think about. So you just gonna keep with this ignorance. So they didn't want us to read.
But Van Johnson is on TV, and so is what's his name, Don Lemon. They can read. So like, okay, so Don and Van can read, and Oprah got a whole empire. Just because Floyd can't read,
poke holes.
I'm with you.
But you cannot own Floyd being illiterate. Look, Floyd is black, okay?
But
he's
I'm
the
saying
same color as my grandpa, but I cannot own Floyd.
She's saying, but the black community.
I
as a
feel
whole.
what she's saying,
and I understand. I feel where you're coming from because just last night, don't judge me, y'all, but I go on YouTube a lot and I listen to I look at old lives of like Sarah Vaughan, of Nina Simone. I go back and look at those Etta James. I'm talking about the shit where it's horrible and in black and white, but I just sit there and listen to it. But the thing that killed me so much about Sarah Vaughan, first of all, her voice is amazing, but her presence and the way she was just very she was super just.
You had to do that though.
I know
you couldn't get to the Copacabana,
but that's my point. You had to do that shit. So I feel like that is part of this whole religion thing. Also with black people, it's so ingrained into you
that
you're doing the shit and you don't even fucking know why. It's just because that's what my mama taught me to do and my grandma did it, and I'm gonna keep doing it. You know what I'm saying?
Right. Like making sure that your kids look super clean when you go outside. Like, even though it's good for them to look like
human.
No, not necessarily. I don't think so.
Think about it like this. What image do you think sticks in a person's mind more so?
Bad.
Anything.
Exactly. So that's why I say when you poke those holes.
Yeah.
Like, people are going to remember something that is negative more so than they're going to remember something that's positive, and then they're going to associate that negative with the collective. And that's where the problem is, and that's also why black people are so sensitive about our image. I mean, I was arguing with somebody on Facebook about are we gonna keep making the same Tyler Perry gonna keep making the same movie or whatever, making this stereotyping black women. Okay, he's found his niche.
Let that man be
or
great.
Whatever, right?
Yeah.
And what's the dude name that made Star Wars? Does he make any other movie?
No.
Does he make any other movie?
But nobody need to.
But white people don't do that. White people are not like, oh my god.
But
George
we
is
are
so
just
embarrassing. Everybody's not a freaking space nerd.
But we're very, as a race as a whole, we are very judgmental.
Yeah,
we are. And
yeah.
I mean, even down to your own family and shit. You know what I'm saying? You do one or two little things that's outside the norm of what they know or what they see or what they're used to, and they're, you're fucking weird.
Exactly. And then you take that and you become a recluse or a drug user or something because you're like, nobody likes me.
No, you don't, bitch. You call me. I'll tell you how to do it because I'm that person in my family. I'm going to always try some weird ass shit. I'm going to always be the person in the restaurant. Let me try them chicken feet. Just because. You know what I'm saying? Just random shit. That's just how I am. But at the end of the day, I think that black people need to just take a seat and let people fucking just be great. We're to a point in time now where we can pretty much be fucking anything. I mean, we did have a half black president. So, have a seat and let these people let the clowns be the clowns and let the, just judge people based on what they do and not their fucking race, as a whole. I really feel like
it's a lot of us doing it to each other. You're right. Because I feel like
calm down, man.
We think white people are like, oh, you're just like Sharkeisha, but they're not.
They are.
I don't think all of them are like that, and I don't think everything is. I know I'm not like Sharkeisha, so I'm not owning that shit.
We know that you're not, but what I'm saying is, even I don't even know what the word is that I said. I used some word one time at work, and my boss, who was white, looked at me like, oh, you know that word? I think I said something like, don't write me some long ass diatribe about what you want me to do. Just make it simple. And he just looked at me like, oh my god. Or I said something, word like that, and he was just like, oh my god, oh, you know the meaning of that word? And I was like, look at this bullshit right here. See, this is how I know that white people are still. So I feel like they.
See, but I don't have that experience.
I don't feel like all of them are, but I feel like a majority of them, because even the friend that we have that's in common that we're not gonna say their name, And I mean, her entire family at one point,
Oh,
I
for
pulled
sure.
up in a certain kind of car, and they were like, what do you do for a living? I mean, you bought her this and that. What is going on? You know, like at her baby shower, they were like, you bought that for her? And I was like, what the fuck is going on? Are y'all for real? It's like maybe you, and then it also could be a factor of they're only used to certain white people, maybe are only used to seeing a certain type of black person. Like, I don't expect people in Alabama, white people in Alabama, rural Alabama, to see people who even act the way that we do here in Houston. Just, you know, everybody can have money. Anybody can have money. We're not as segregated as it is out there. So, I don't know.
Well, I think that, one, white people judge us as a collective, and then in turn, we judge ourselves as a collective versus an individual. And you see that all the time in the news. When somebody let a black person do anything, he's automatically labeled as a thug. Yeah. And a white person do the same thing, and it's like, oh, wait a minute, something happened in his upbringing.
He was mentally ill.
But at the same time, you don't see white people going to bat for the white person that does something wild. They be acting like they don't see that shit.
No, because they don't, within their community.
Yeah,
they don't judge they don't judge each other as a collective. Like, if one white person does something that's bad,
that's him.
Right. But, and that's how about 25% of black people look at when shit goes awry with black people, but the rest of them are like, you can't be out here embarrassing us. Like, that's what I'm saying. I don't own that.
Right. That's what I'm saying. And that's exactly why I said that other people judge us as a collective, and then we in turn judge ourselves as a collective.
I'm not in the
because other people judge us as a collective. So, I mean, until we start seeing each other as individuals,
right, like you said in the beginning,
then there'll be no certain way to be black, because you're an individual first. Like, I mean, and I think I asked this question one day, like, do you associate yourself with being black first, or a woman or a man first? And a lot of people said that they see themselves as being black first,
of course,
before they see themselves as
I see myself as a woman. And every time I have said that, I've gotten some kind of, oh, really?
Right. So that tells you right there that you're judging as a collective when you say you're black first versus a person, a soul, a woman, a man, or whatever.
In the oh really section, because bitch, I'm a woman first.
Right.
Like,
I wake up in the morning, these cramps ain't got no motherfucking color on them. Okay.
And the reason why I say that too is because as a woman, and I don't want to get into something else, I will stop after this, but as a woman, we still don't have the support of black men that we need on an everyday basis. So it's like you have to be a woman first. To me, I mean, that's my personal opinion, because I don't feel supported by white men, black men, white women. I don't feel supported by them, but I do feel like because black men don't support us the way I think they should, I still don't feel like, oh, I'm black as fuck.
Super black.
You know, I don't feel like I'm ultra black. What do those shirts say? Unapologetically black. Okay, I'm unapologetically me.
Yeah.
And if you don't like that, which is, I guess, not black, because my whole life I've been hearing that same shit, well, fuck you too.
But I mean, this kind of goes along with why people are not necessarily, or black people don't even allow other black people to be individuals and to step outside of what is norm, quote unquote norm for a black person. It's like, you need to strive to be a basketball player, a football player to get out of the hood.
Athletic.
Versus going to,
trade school,
math, or either trade school or being a welder. Like, welders make really good money. Like, why is it working with your hands not seen as something that is like a good job to have or whatever? Because you're not necessarily, well, they don't look at it as you're using your brains, but you have to.
You're not competing with white folks if you do that.
And that,
and that's all it is. And that's the thing that we need to stop. Like, let's stop trying to compete with them, and let's, like you said, be individuals. And I feel like if we could flourish so much more if we stop judging each other, as a group.
I mean, the world's gonna judge us enough, and then let's be honest, like, the racism is not dead.
No, of course
that
not.
Shit is still alive and well right now, and it's still in the workplace, it's still in the communities, it's every fucking where. But at the end of the day, I mean, I just feel like, do you, like, don't, I mean, I don't know. I'm always on the fence with shit, but I'm just so on the fence because when let's say the news is on and somebody says, "Oh, there was a school shooting,"
you be
first
looking
thing
hard
out
as
of my
fuck.
mouth. No, but the first thought in my head is, "Oh, that's a white person."
Yeah.
You know, but then when you hear about somebody getting carjacked, it's like, "Oh, it was probably black folks. Let me see who it was."
Yeah, and it is.
You know what I mean? And I don't know if I'm part of the problem because I do that or I think that. But at the end of the day, I do agree that we need to stop.
Well, there's truth in stereotypes. So,
Right.
I mean,
yeah. But that's what's so funny about it is you're like, oh, well, that's a stereotype. But you have a cousin that do that same shit.
Yes, he does.
You know what I'm
he
saying?
Does.
So,
yes. And what kind of car do you want?
So you don't want to be stereotyped for, yourself, but you
Right.
have a cousin that do the same shit. And you
Right.
probably be like, that's why because he be doing X, Y, Z. But you don't want an outsider to say, well, some black people do blah, blah, blah. No, the fuck they don't. But Ray show doing it.
That's all that FBI profiling is. Like when they profile serial killers, I mean, it's based off of stereotypes,
Yes, it
right?
is.
It's the
100%.
same.
And they be catching the shit out of them people too. And thank God for stereotypes.
Don't they?
Yeah. I think though, for celebrities, it's just too heavy of a burden for you to carry. Like you have to be everything for your people and then try to be yourself at the same time.
Right.
Like, how
It don't look heavy.
How do you do that?
And Tiffany Haddish to me
Because they're not carrying
They're
that
not
shit.
carrying it.
Yeah.
Yeah, no.
Well,
But,
drop
I mean-
the bags, bitch. What did Erykah Badu say? Bag lady. You
Right.
hurt your
But
bag.
the pressure that people put at them to be,
A certain way.
that's too much.
But that's what I like about them is because they're like, fuck that pressure. Bitch, I'm me. Yeah, I'm having this baby. Yeah, he got 3-4 other kids. Yeah, he cheated on me. Bitch, bye.
Oh, he cheated on her?
Allegedly.
They was separated though.
Allegedly or whatever.
She's like in the humblest way possible.
I'm
a millionaire.
So, but it's like, but she's doing the same shit that your neighbor's doing, or
Yeah.
you doing, or your sister's
stop
doing.
being so judgmental.
So you're like, ugh, why is she doing blah blah blah? But get on the phone with your friend, like, girl, I know I should have left his ass, but I didn't.
him. He keep
You know what I'm saying? So why is it bad for Cardi to do what your mom does, or your granny, or your best friend, next door neighbor?
Well, let's even go as far as to say shit like certain men that say shit like that. Oh, I don't want nobody that's got no bunch of baby daddies. Bitch, your mama.
Right.
You and your brother got
brothers don't
different
have
daddies.
the same, right?
Yeah.
The fuck? Like I wish the men, please get the fuck out of here with that shit. So what's that scripture? Judge not,
Lest you be judged.
be judged. Yeah.
Right.
How about stayeth in thy own fucking lane?
All right.
Okay.
Unless you get your foot ran over by a car.
Right. Unless you use thine turn signal, bitch. Outside of that, stay in your own fucking lane. Worry about worry about you. I'm not saying that we still shouldn't be a community and be, as one or whatever when it comes to certain stuff, but at some rate, like, stop fucking judging people, man. The world has changed a lot, and the things that some of us just do, and I'm saying us because I know a certain shit that I still do just because I was taught or I was raised, and I can't even tell you why I do XYZ because I just have done it my whole life.
Right.
Like, break the fucking mold. Like, change it. Like, don't continue the shit. Let that fucking cycle go. Let the shit, die.
Like, I like to be different. I like being different. But I feel like sometimes I feel like, well, maybe I'm weird, or maybe people don't like me because
Is that how
of
you feel when
XYZ.
you dance, Danielle?
First of all, I got motherfucking moves, bitch.
Lies
Like,
No.
all up and through the room.
No, I got moves. My moves
Danielle
got moves.
dances like that girl Carlton.
My moves got moves. Like
Danielle dances like Carlton.
I pop lock on these hoes and I twerk.
Do you drop
yes,
it? Oh god.
pop lock, twerk, and drop.
Oh
Like-
wow.
And then
Pop
need Ben
lock,
Gay the next day,
twerk,
going down.
Motherfucking knee just out of whack completely. Just done.
Whatever. Don't hate on my skills, son.
Danielle is the whitest black girl dancing you will ever see in your life.
You see how Sharona just did her like that?
One time
One time Sharona told Danielle, "You dance like Michelle talks."
Oh, I did say that, but that was a funny.
And then I went home and cried.
No, you are a fucking liar. You did not.
Y'all know Muhammad Ali was like that too, because he was just real extra and he did not give a fat fuck and he wasn't trying to tone down for nobody.
Turn down for what?
I just don't understand people who want folks outside of them to turn all the way down. I'm like, you don't have to. Don't even look at me. Just don't look at me. If you don't like how I am or what my blackness looks like, then just
I think
don't
it's
look at me.
very sad that you have to be concerned about being accepted by your own people because you have a different ideology, or you believe in a different religion, or you want to go a different path in your life, and you know, your own people are the one that's like, you know what, you're not black enough.
Right.
Like
you would
there's
think
really
that they would support you. They should be the ones supporting you. Yet
like
they're
there's
the ones.
something really wrong with it. Like I remember when I was going to meditation at a Buddhist temple, and my mom damn near had a fucking heart attack. She was like, "Are you trying to change? Oh, are you converting? What are you doing?"
Damn,
you
she
know,
would die.
Witchcraft.
I know, right? She was just like, what are you doing? Like, why are you going to a Buddhist temple? And I'm like, I'm going because I want to learn how to meditate.
I'm trying to get my mind right, because you ask me questions like this.
She's like,
all day long.
She's like, you just need to go to church with us. Like, we need to start going to church. You know, and so it's like even having the idea of going and trying a different religion. You know, it's just like, why are you doing that? That's not what we do.
Right. Or, and this is really basic, but this is the type of stuff I used to get made fun of and picked on for. Oh, you shop at XYZ store. Oh, the shoes you have on look like white girl shoes. Like really basic stuff. So it's like,
why you got them kids on?
Why you got on?
Oh my
God,
God,
you got white girls.
I wore kids in Oxfords. Don't feel ashamed.
But if these were like Doc Martin sandals, like these are $100 sandals.
Everybody had those though. Well, I went to a white high school.
See,
too, so
all the white kids had them. The black folks were shopping at Pallet Royal to pick up candies, but the white girls had them too.
Yeah.
So it was like, which one? What do you mean?
You
Because
have the boots too, the ones that lace up all the way to the top, but you kind of like let them be. Yeah, I had those too.
I had Candies brand boots. Okay, this is off topic.
You said Doc Martens though.
I had Doc Martin sandals.
Oh, the sandals.
Okay,
Okay,
I had Doc Martin
boots.
sandals. I had Candies boots.
Okay.
I'm also younger than you. So. Okay, so anything to add? No.
Mind your own fucking business. Stay in your. What was my scripture? Stay
Judge not.
Stay
Oh wait, stayeth in your own
in
lane.
thine own lane. Right.
Lest thine
Useth thine blinker.
Yeah. Even still, even if
Whatever.
you're using your blinker, bitch, no.
No, I'm not letting nobody over
Denied.
today. You still got to get let over. Just use the blinker.
I don't know.
Just
We both
leave people to fuck alone and worry about yourself. If people focus as much on their own fucking family and getting their own business and their own shit together, they wouldn't have time to give a fuck about what the next person is doing. And that's just the in and out of it, and that's the beginning and the end of it. Right there. Put that effort into your shit, to your household.
Right. Like, you cannot make somebody else conform to your standards. Like, I need for you to be this way so I can accept you. What the fuck?
Please and thank you. Good day. Good day. Bitch, what?
Please make me comfortable, because you're making me uncomfortable.
Right.
And I feel
By
uncomfortable.
being yourself, though, it's just hard. I don't get it. Like,
Because I don't understand you if you don't fit into this box.
Right.
So, like, how am I supposed to accept you as a person if I don't understand you? No. I don't know. It's crazy.
Well, white folks and black folks and green folks and yellow folks, thank you so much for listening. How did you guys like the wine?
I think it was very, it smells very good. That was the first thing I noticed was it was
Smells
a very
black.
No, it has a very fruity, like it's very floral, like scent to it. I liked it. I think it was balanced. Like what's the word I'm looking for? Like it was not like it had a nice level of dryness to it for me.
Right.
I give it a 20.
Okay. I'm gonna give it a 17 because it's a red. Y'all know I don't love red. I mean, it was good, but it wasn't a sweet blend. Like, it was kind of dry.
It smelled more fruity to me than it
tasted.
yeah,
most
it did
definitely.
smell like it was going to be sweeter than
Because
Right.
I was like, because I actually didn't even drink it at first. It was like sitting over here, and I was like, well, I smell it. Like, it's very fruity. I was like, is this a sweet brand? Like, that's what I was thinking.
Right.
But
It
no.
smells like it, but it's not. Like, it is dry. It's not super, super dry, but it's not something that I'd be like,
Yeah.
oh my God, I'm running out to get that Kendall Jackson summation. Never was.
Oh my God. Okay.
Yeah.
Agree. It was kind of dry. The smell is really, really nice. I agree with Danielle 100%. It's very floral. Smells very sweet. My score. Damn, I think I might have to agree with Danielle on 20. Yeah.
All right. 2020.
Well,
Okay. All right. So, Danielle, what book are you reading this month?
Year of Yes by Shonda Rhimes.
Okay. For those who don't know, Shonda Rhimes is what she's the executive producer on Grey's and Scandal.
How to Get Away with Murder.
Oh, don't reduce Shonda. Don't reduce Shonda like that.
First of all, I'm sorry. My bad. Please go to shondaland.com to really just understand and respect Shonda Rhimes.
And all her blackness. Okay? Because she's a color.
But there's people who also dislike Shonda for as black as she is and how much blackness she throws in her TV shows and stereotypes.
Baby, and I am here for it.
Well, her shows are like, she just has so much gayness in her shows. That's
right.
She does. But that's a part of, I think
it's because she's gay.
You think she's gay?
Yes, I think she's gay.
Danielle, you got the gaydar up? You looking for your
She has 3 kids and no baby daddy. And well, they were
Are you looking to stereotype her?
Yes.
Baby daddy?
Yes. I think she adopted one.
Maybe she went to a clinic. Everybody don't want to be bothered with have you seen my motherfucking socks?
And
Why she just can't be a Beyonce independent strong woman?
Is Beyonce independent?
What?
Is Beyonce independent? No, she not.
She's married, but she not dependent.
She's codependent.
No, but she told him on Lemonade, I can go down.
And
me and my baby. What she say? Me and my baby, we gonna be
all right.
I think art.
Oh my God.
I think life imitates art. Art imitates life.
Yeah.
So that's why I'm like, I think
maybe she has a gay brother or something.
Maybe she's Meredith.
Maybe.
I think she's more probably like
Olivia.
No,
Meredith has 3 kids though. And
yeah, but that's because he died.
No, I think she's more like Christina.
Oh.
Lady? No.
Christina, how she was very
really
driven and very focused on her career
work,
and work. Like, I think she's more Christina.
But Christina would never in life have a kid.
She right by herself.
Oh, she was going to do one with the darkie.
I'm sorry, the darkie?
Wow.
All right, so please make sure to visit our website, www.betweenusgirlspodcast.com.
And look at Danielle's picture. Yes, she is black.
Yeah, Danielle is black. I'm like, did she just really call Isaiah, what's his name, Darkie?
Isaiah Washington. Yeah, he's darker than me.
The Darkie? Okay.
Yeah.
Anyway, don't forget Pattern Love in August. Use code GIRLS at checkout, www.pattern.love. And
bye.
Thank you for joining us on Between Us Girls. But don't keep it a secret. Listen and share with everyone you know. See you next week.